Hello, fellow YouTubers. This is DVD Collector 1986 here with a new video. I've got some Blu-rays and one DVD to show you, so let's just get into it. First up is Wrong Turn 1 through 5. I used to have the first three on DVD and part 4 on Blu-ray by itself, but I recently got part 6 in a previous video, and now I have the other 5. This is a movie I've never seen until today, The Witch. I really enjoyed this movie. Takes place in New England, 1630. And it deals with like witches and more importantly, the witch element plays a big part in it towards the final act of the film. But before the big reveal, and I'm not going to tell you the ending, but before the ending arrives, it's more of like a psychological horror type thing. And next up, I've got some Vestron Collector's Series Blu-rays to show you. This one did not come with a slipcover. I don't really care about slipcovers anyway, but Chopping Mall, never seen it. Pretty good, late 80s slasher horror film about killer robots in a mall. It was a bit on the cheesy side, although I enjoyed it, but I did think it was a little corny. And like I said, a little bit on the cheesy side, but I like it enough to keep it in the collection. It's a good 80s slasher, so anyway, but Chopping Mall, and I'd heard people talk about that movie on YouTube. Um, and Yeah, and these next few are also Vestron video releases. These did come with slipcovers. Return of the Living Dead 3 with Mindy Clark. This movie came out in 92, and I enjoy this movie. I love the first two for their comedy, and the slapstick feel that the first two had, but I really enjoyed this one. I've always been a fan of this one because it's a bit more on the serious side. It's a bit more grounded, and it's a little darker than the first two. And ultimately, like I said, it's a more serious movie out of the three. And I've always been a fan of this movie for that reason. But again, these come loaded with special features. Anyone that's looking to get into collecting these Vistron or Vestron Collector Series Blu-rays, they're really worth it. Yeah, you pay a little bit more for them, but it evens out because they give you a lot of special features and stuff. And here's a movie, I've seen it many times, but I never got around to owning it because the DVD was out of print, and I had heard about this release before it came out and after, and I'd been waiting to get it, and I finally got it. And that's Maximum Overdrive. I don't need to say anything about this movie. And if you thought that this movie had a lot of special features on it, which it's got some decent ones, it does. Well, okay, look at the list on that. Okay, now look at the list on this bad boy. That's a much bigger list. This is what you pay for when you spend a little bit more money on these, but it's worth it. Maximum Overdrive, like I said, I don't need to say anything about it. Emilio Estevez, and there's some other actors in there too, but he's the most memorable one out of the whole cast. And here's another one from the Vestron Collector Series, and that would be the Wishmaster. collection. I had the first two on DVD. I had never seen part three or part four, so now I have all of them on Blu Ray in one case, and they take up a lot less space than they did on my shelf before. So, I believe the first two films are on their own separate disc, and then part three and four are on the third disc together. And there's still quite a few special features for each film. So, really nice release. I still haven't watched part three or four yet. I'll have to check that out at some point. And here's a Ben Foster movie, Leave No Trace. This movie was really, really good. And I'll just say this: it's a movie that makes you think about a lot of things. It raises a lot of moral and like I said, I guess moral is the best word. Moral questions about being a free society. Are we really free? Because when you don't live off the grid like these characters in the movie do, when you live in society, you have to follow all sorts of rules. There's paperwork, there's red tape. Uh, you know, are we really free because we, by living in society, by being a part of society, we have to abide by certain things? And do those things help us? Do they give us freedom, or do they hinder us more than anything? A lot of questions like that. It's a thinker's movie, but at the same time, it's a very entertaining film. I highly recommend it because it's a Ben Foster movie. Anything that Ben Foster is in is going to be a good film. And I watched this movie twice already, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's Leave No Trace. And I got the Batman Complete Animated Series Blu Ray Deluxe Edition thing, the box set. So I got the whole animated series on Blu ray. It comes with Mask of the Phantasm and the Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero film on Blu ray. The only animated Batman movie, the only other one that I really wanted that was inspired by the animated series that wasn't in the box set was this one. Batman Mystery of the Batwoman. This is actually a really entertaining film. It's definitely the weakest of the three, but it's still very good. Um, this is now I wouldn't say collector's item, but it's kind of out of print. And that's Boogeyman, the killer compilation, the scariest boogeymen ever to appear on film together for the first time in the ultimate horror experience. Basically, this is a DVD. It's not a movie. It's like, okay, imagine it's like Halloween night or whatever, and you want to create some spooky atmosphere in your house. Maybe you're going to make some popcorn, watch scary movies, or maybe you're not going to be able to watch scary movies, but you're going to hand out candy for trick or treaters. Well, you know how some people they put like a radio in their living room and they pop in a CD, and to get in the mood for Halloween, the CD might have like spooky music, like chains rattling and spooky ambience, and like maybe even some theme songs from popular horror movies and stuff like that. Well, okay, picture that, but instead of audio, like CD, let's say you do the same thing, but you want to do it with random different movie clips from different horror films. Then this is what you would pop in. Um, Really, really good. Uh, and I really thoroughly enjoyed watching this. I'd seen and I own most of the movies that they showed clips from in here, but there were a few that I didn't have. So, um, but anyway, that will do it, except I did forget one thing, and it's a good thing I saw it sitting here. Um, this was a huge deal for me, because I love this series, um, and I'm talking about Stranger Things. This was released, Stranger Things Season 2 was released on the 6th, and today's the 8th. I ordered it from a guy on eBay who got a whole bunch of these from Target, and he shipped it really fast, and it got here 2 days later, which is pretty good for ordering a pre order movie or show from eBay. I love this show, and I love how when they release the seasons, they really go all out. If you remember, season one looks like it has like an old style paper VHS cardboard cover. It's not beat up, but it's made to look like it's beat up. And then the VHS tape comes out and it opens up, and it's actually a case that holds discs. It's not really a VHS tape, but it looks like one. Well, they went a step beyond with season two. This is actually real plastic. This is like the cases that you would buy, oh, not buy, that you would see at Blockbuster when you go to rent a movie. It's not in the original case it came in. They put it in these hard plastic cases with plastic sleeves over them like this. That's exactly what this is. And it's oversized Stranger Things 2 VHS. And it actually says Hawkins Video, which Hawkins is the name of the town where Stranger Things takes place. Here's the back. And as you can see, it has a DVD and Blu Ray logos, and it is region free. I like it right here. It says on the package. They're trying to make it look old school like a VHS thing. It says, do not immerse underwater, do not expose to spores, do not play in the upside down. People that have seen the show will know what that's a reference to. That's really cool. But you open this up, it's magnetized. You open it up, and on this side, Hawkins Video Friends Rewind. Tampering with this label will result in charges for this cassette. You know, the old warnings they used to put on the VHS tapes. Like, the VHS tapes were such great quality compared to what they have now. And these are postcards, but they're made to look like old photos. Like, it looks like an old faded photo. Um, and there's, I forget his name, but the actor that plays the sheriff and the actress that plays 11. So these are like, they look like, they're made to look like photos, but they're like postcards. So, season one came with a poster, but this one comes with those. And then you pop this. Oh, wait a minute. This doesn't actually come out. I'm sorry. It looks like it comes out, but it actually comes down a lot like season one. I'm sorry. It's kind of hard to show this on camera without stuff falling, but it comes down like that. Very nice set. I can't wait to delve back into season two. I found out that they were releasing it. on Blu-ray and DVD, and there is a 4K Ultra HD version available as well. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Thanks.